Books versus source energy. Books versus source energy. What's the deal, family? What's the word? What's the word? Dreamwise there for another one. Yes, sir. We got to talk about it, man. We got to talk about it. We got to dive deep. We got to go in to the fold of this highly debated topic. So yesterday I was watching we was watching Godfather of Harlem, and I just happened to click on YouTube. You know how you just be watching it, but you're not watching Godfather of Harlem, right? And essentially, and shit, that should be crazy. That Godfather of Harlem boy, them Italian boys was not playing with them. We in season, we just finished the finale yesterday. But god damn, Bumpy just trying to be an upstanding citizen. He trying to get out the game. Them boys, nah, shake down. I need your club, baby. Anyway, I'm watching it. I click on YouTube. Boom. There it is. B-Dale versus 607 Up versus somebody else and somebody else. I said, all right, well, fuck it. Let me watch this for a few seconds. And essentially what I gathered from it for the, 2 minutes that I seen it was they were basically debating over books versus if you're getting channels and downloads. So I want to break it down for the family and give the family an understanding completely of how to move in that particular idea, right? Of books, because y'all know I got 1,000 books. I got books people don't even have versus channeled download information. And y'all see, I decode everything. It ain't from no damn book either. The 2 minutes that I watched it, and I was trying to find the video. Did he take it down? He must have took that bitch down because I didn't see it again. I was trying to find it because I was going to play that video, but I didn't see it. Hold on. Let me check one more time to just see if it's still up. Was it on B-Dale's site, on his YouTube page? Because I was I just kind of scrolled and seen it, clicked on it, you know what I'm saying? And shit, there it was. But let me check again because when I checked, I didn't see it. So maybe it was on somebody else's page and I just didn't know it. You feel me? But yeah, it don't look like I could see it now. Anyway, they did it before. So I will play this old video, but the one they did yesterday, it was 2-on-2. And they looked like they was going for war. But I was watching my Godfather of Harlem, so I had to get back to that because it was getting interesting. But them boys look like, hey, it's time. Hey, let's go at each other's head and shit. Especially that 607 Up. That nigga a character for real. God damn. Let's see. But I thought it was on his page. I don't know if I'm just tripping. Anyway, here go a video.
Time was invented to watch the sun, the moon. They used it on you. Time is linear. There's no past or no future, right? Life is moment to moment.
I can't even see it. Hold on. Wait. Hold on, y'all. Technical difficulties. StreamYard got to get better with that. All right, here we go. Let's see. So this was an old video, but I could have sworn they just did one yesterday. Was I dreaming that bitch? They could have been dreaming they had a 2-on-2 real quick. And nigga B-Dale must have took it down, or I was on somebody else's page and seeing it. You feel me? Anyway, here goes the gist of it in this thing.
I'm not using no big words. That's not big words.
Don't nobody know what that shit means.
That means you gotta raise up your consciousness. You gotta raise up your knowledge.
No, you can't listen.
So this is the thing.
How you gonna ask a dog that's been a dog forever, right? to be something other than a dog, right? But what you can do is this. All them words, all that knowledge is no language. The language is this. This is what you heard. It's vibration, the frequency. Your mind perceives that as a language or as a word. There's no words to be said, right? No. So listen. So when you give me some money and you tell me to talk and you tell me to give my input, I'm gonna get the truth. I'm not gonna get on here and try to sound smart.
Shout out to 607 and B-Dale. Yeah, I guess, it's a new wave. Wise Fox just said YouTube took it down. Whatever reason they took it down for, cool, right? Anyway, the deeper idea of it and the bigger aspect of it is the knowledge that you receive in this intellectual pursuit through the books, through occult, spiritual books, metaphysical books, and then the knowledge that you receive from yourself. Now, when you see something like B-Dale and 607 right, you can see they're on two different spectrums of thought and existence in this thing. So they're basically the same, like and alike are the same. They're just in this conundrum of battling which way is right or wrong and all this other shit. So now you got to step back and just observe it for why this is happening in this particular time and why are they doing it. Now, I believe that, and we understand that, it's entertainment, YouTube, you're supposed to move into a particular entertainment spectrum of this thing as well, you feel me? Because in the entertainment spectrum of it, then, people watch and you can still edutainment this thing out, which is fly, you feel me? And I'll smoke a bag of that, you feel me? That's what Sonetta and them was trying to do. They was trying to pull the battle, because they know melanated people love battling, the fight, the rap battle, the cipher, all of that, right? They're trying to pull the battle with the debate style things. So Aline versus SETI, all them, Sonetta's channel is more Afrocentric things. So one Afrocentric, the Moors versus Polite and his New Nubians group. You feel me? All of that shit, right? Now you can see it moving into the spiritual metaphysical group, us, which I want to bring this back all the way back into order to bring back some kind of concrete understanding of it. Because at the same time, at the end of the day, if there's really no debate to be had, right? Now, again, throw the moralism out of this thing. This is chaos. Go for yours. Run this bitch up. However they want to get it, so shall that be. You feel me? And I ain't mad at none of them for getting it the way they get it. But just the idea of it alone is not in alignment with anything. See, look, we're in this Aquarius age, right? Let me share my screen. And in this Aquarius age, it's the age of knowledge, it's the age of information, it's the age of the water bearer. And this water bearer is essentially bringing forth a level of consciousness to the masses. Remember, this consciousness is a stream, roll your boat gently down the stream of information. It's also a stream of emotions. So then you'll see two people debate about absolutely nothing, because at the same time, at the end of the day, it's the same spectrum of thought, it's the same reality. So then you just got to step back and observe it from another lens of why they're doing it and what's actually happening. Well, I believe that the age of Aquarius is happening so much that is actually bringing forth a level of a 607 up, who's obviously a channeler, and he's channeling from his truth and his perspective of his gnosis, his self-knowledge. And then also you got Bidel, who's also an intellectual, more scholar being, right? And he could maybe channel, right? And get into that flow of, you know, making the information make sense. You feel me? Especially with them words he be using. I'll be like, oh shit, the boy is bad. What did he say? Chaos in the blood. That nigga, hey, I'm just telling y'all the truth. Some of them words, I'll be like, all right, okay, be there. I heard that. Whatever that meant, fly. So now we just got to really break this thing down, right? This age of Aquarius here, the stream of consciousness is here. But the age of information, this information age, is not about information at all. The information age is about the information you gather. You gather through the work, the end. Doesn't matter if you're reading books and gathering it like that, or if you're actually doing spiritual work. There's an aha moment that comes online that says, I got it. And that got it is a big deal in spiritual beings. It's supposed to be a big deal in spiritual beings, right? Because again, when you have it, nobody can take it from you. So for instance, when I sun gaze, I understand the power and the benefits of the sun gazing and what happens as a form of the action I'm taking and then the reaction that happens the next day or few days from now, right? When I talk to my trees, right? And I wake up at 3:30 in the morning and receive this divine message from a voice I never heard. And I'm like, what the fuck? How the fuck what is that? I know in my mind, my own personal being, that it was my trees giving me the information. Just based off of me putting two and two together, me asking the tree, and then it coming in the form of a message, a voice, a spirit at 2-3 in the morning in the waking hours. So, you know what I'm saying? This is all based off of the work, and you have to do work to understand. Knowledge, wisdom, understanding, you have to do work to understand. And that understanding is something nobody can take from you. And I'm going to go deeper into the fold on that as we go through this idea of what's happening. So now just understanding that we're in the age of Aquarius, and this age of Aquarius, is actually a play on words for you to do the work and gather the information for yourself. The end. If you don't gather the information for yourself, then nothing's going to happen and nothing's going to shift your world. This is about you gaining concrete understanding of why grounding works, of why sun gazing works, of why the meditation works. And it's something you can't do one time. You know, niggas do a whole elaborate meditation and shit. You feel me? And just do it one time and be like, all right, I'm good. Nah, nigga, this is a consistent practice. When we talk about practice, it's a spiritual practice that you're taking as a lifestyle, as a change in your lifestyle. So you're becoming something through the aspect of you consistently doing the work. It's just like lifting weights. You go to the gym, right? You can't just go for a month or two. You got to go for the long haul in this bitch. You change your diet for a month. Okay, cool. But did it actually change who you were and change your energy and even change your body and your weight. Lifestyle, practices, practice means consistently, repetitiously doing it over and over and over again until just means forever and a day, because you just know that making love to yourself through this spiritual practice is helping you and benefiting you on this never-ending story. So now let's get back to it. Age of Aquarius is here. Like and alike are the same. Polarity, everything is dual, everything has poles, everything has its pair of opposites. Opposites are identical in nature but different in degree. Extremes meet, all paradoxes must be reconciled. Okay. So we know that means you're on a spectrum, on a pole. So Bedell is right and 607 Unk is right. Because again, they're on the same pole. It's just opposite points of views that you're seeing this thing from. And nobody's point of view is better than the other, because when you're a spiritual being, you let go of all of that shit and you become nothing to this world. I don't have to prove to people what Ganesha means to me. I don't have to prove to people me putting up a Ganesha pendant in the traffic clearing out what that mean. You know what that means for me, right? I just got to understand it within myself and ride with it. So now we got to step back and understand that when they are having these debates, which I believe it was just for entertainment purposes only, because 607 Unk is kind of entertaining and he brings people to the fold in the aspect of his loud, boisterous character ways and shit. So then Bedell probably said, oh, this nigga will be perfect. Ha! Hey, this nigga, let him bring all that channeled information over here, boy. I got some books for his ass. And 607 Unk looking like, nigga, you don't even know. It's from your heart. It's from your heart. Hey, that's all I heard him say yesterday. He said something like that, and I was like, oh, okay, God must know something. Shit, he on it. So let me play this video for y'all so we can get deeper into the fold. This is the great, the one and only, the one, Bobby.
When I sing a lot.
Hitman.
Right? I thought I had something slick going in my house. I ain't got shit on you, right? How many books you think you got?
Maybe I don't. It's so many, even little small intricate books. So it's well over a couple thousand when you really. Because I got them from the floor all the way up, and I didn't make it, and I laid them horizontal from the floor.
Right.
So if they were vertical, it would reach all the way up to the wall.
Right.
So it's a lot more than what it looks. I mean, it's just tons of stuff, and all, But I've been collecting for, I've been on my odyssey, as far as my book odyssey, well over 20-something years. So, on that particular level, and on that particular level. So, you got to get you a library. It's always key, because what happens here is a lot of people. I bought books and didn't read them and didn't tap into them to 10 years later or 5 years later. And what happens here is this. Because some people get discouraged. They say, well, you mean to tell me I got to read every book from cover to cover? You don't really learn anything from reading a book cover to cover. Most of these books, on occult books and history books, are not read to be, not made to be read cover to cover, because you don't retain anything if you do that cover to cover. You're just going over data. What it is this. Late at night, one night, you might have an epiphany. And this is where the library comes in. You might have an epiphany, a divine thought, and you need to expound on that with some scholarship. The more you to get more information on it. So what will happen here is, if you have a library, you can just go in your library. You see what I'm saying? And you can, basically quench your thirst of knowledge. Whereas if you don't have the library, you might have to wait until you got to go buy the book. You got to go find the book. So that's why, they say don't eat, buy books. You see, very key.
Bobby, the great hitman, Hammett. And another strategy with all the books that you've never read in your library. Y'all know y'all got them books. Y'all know. Niggas, especially the spiritual beings, y'all know y'all got hundreds of books in your library you ain't even never opened. But another strategy and a more powerful strategy is to divination the book. Divination the book. So you take your book, whatever it might be, and say, give me some divine words of wisdom. Give me some divine words of wisdom. Give me some divine words of wisdom. Let's try it with a book, shall we? Gods of Love and Ecstasy. Shiva and Dionysus. Uh-oh. And the funny thing is, this is Shiva month, baby. Let's try it. Give me some divine words of power. 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 Let's see what it says. Names and aspects of gods. In the forest, the name of the tiger is never spoken. In the same way, the name of a god is never used openly. He is only named indirectly by using adjectives. The French word dieu comes from the root div, which means radiant. The Germanic Gott and English God come from another Indo-European root, which surprisingly means the bull. Oh, that's fly. So they're saying the U comes from the root, which means radiant bull. So God, God means radiant bull. That's interesting. Wow. It is prescribed that a formula must be altered in order to avoid the direct mention of the names of the god. Reference to the god must always be indirect, suggested by mentioning one of his qualities or attributes. For this reason, in all mythologies, the different aspects of the divine have multifarious names. That's fly. So that's the same thing when you see Ra, Heru, Akuti, and shit like that, right? Because they're just kind of putting gods together to formulate an idea, a concept. Remember, all these gods and goddesses are just energy streams. So in energy streams, it's just trying to give you an idea, a symbol, energy, so you can actually invoke that particular energy and stimulate something in your pineal gland. Because these gods actually live in your pineal gland, which is your imagination, which is your ability to see, into the invisible. So now what happens is a lot of times people are stuck with the logical mind and they're trying to use these gods as some kind of worshiping mechanism when it's actually just cutting on light bulbs in your subconscious mind. So that's fire. That's fire. You know what I'm saying? Gods of Love and Ecstasy, Alan Danu. You know what? Let's try Panic's book. You know, Panic is coming through and he would love this topic. Ha! What? That nigga Panic would love this topic, baby. We'll try his first book, The Origins of Occult Civilization, Volume 1, Hollywood. Give me some divine words of wisdom. Give me some divine words of wisdom. Give me some divine words of wisdom. Oh, the Kabbalion. Oh, hi. I say the 7 principles of Hermetic law. So yeah, Panic. Actually, so then now Panic is coming through. Because in my next slides, I actually go into what's actually happening. So, boom. Yeah, y'all see the chapter? That spirit, nigga, tripping. Oh, shit. There go the light. The light trying to blind y'all. Just know it's the Kabbalion. Hold up, right? And then, boom, the next chapter, or my next slide, is source information. So shout out to Panic because he brought this to the fold, right? Source information. So source information is the raw facts, the data, or direct quotes from original material, right? Examples: statistics, historical records, transcripts, scientific data, or a quote from a book, speech. Purpose provides evidence or foundation for understanding a topic. So Ancient Future is a perfect book for source information because Wayne Chandler absolutely put his foot in that bitch. If you haven't read it, go read the book Ancient Future. Top 5 spiritual books ever. Maybe top 3. And Wayne did a masterful job of just breaking down the 7 laws of Tahuti, which I just pulled up. The 7 laws is the Canalian, which is source information in his book Ancient Future, right? Fabulous job. He broke them, and he broke the laws. So that was kind of his interpretation in the end of the chapters of him breaking them. But the whole chapter is basically him just explaining the 7 laws of Tahuti, where does it come from, the history, the origins, all of that stuff. Through thought, which is Tahuti. Or they call him Trismegistus, right? So boom. That's source information, and then check this out. Author's interpretation, the 7 laws of dark power, which is essentially the 7 laws of Tahuti, but in Panic's way. You feel me? Shout out to the guy. So the author's opinion, analysis, or conclusion based on the source information. So Panic brought into the fold the 7 laws of Tahuti, or the 7 laws of dark power, through him understanding Ancient Futures book, right? Wayne Chandler's book, 7 Laws of Tahuti. Source information, author's interpretation. Source information, author's interpretation. So Panic in this book, which we read in the Patreon, has a lot of commentary, a lot of examples, a lot of stories and ideas, and he makes in the niggerish way, which a lot of us need. So I highly suggest y'all go get this book as well, right? Both of his books, occultlectures.com. And yes, even though Rising the Power to the God, even though he's not here, the books are still selling. Occultlectures.com. Shout out to my fairy godmother, Khadija, his wife. Occultlectures.com. Somebody put it in the chat so y'all can go get this crack. Chaos in the blood, baby. So, when we talk about the author's interpretation and source information, right, we're talking about 2 different spectrums of what you're actually reading. When you're reading Panic's book, you're reading what's coming from his divine mind, just based off of the information that he's channeled through the work and through his interpretation of others, right? When you're reading Neville Goddard's book, you're reading his interpretation of the Bible and how he sees it and what it means to him, and him putting down masterful decodes through the Bible, right? What's the dude that wrote Atlantis and Lemuria? That nigga. That's his interpretation, him channeling information to say, now all of this shit is black. When shit, that nigga said it straight up. You feel me? Hey, all this stuff is black. There's something going on in what he say? He said there's some created people here, and he didn't mention that it was white people, but he basically said in Atlantis and Lemuria, that book. What's his name? Rudolf Steiner. In that book, I read that hoe had me stuck. And I was like, damn, this a white boy channeling like this? I said, oh, okay, and they got something. You feel me? Lalela Africa, he usually goes source information heavy, right? And he's really just scientific with his. So Lalela Africa is another source information person. Phil Cooper with the Magicians is definitely, he's going through the interpretation, which I talked to him personally about this. he's going through the interpretation of his teacher, Ophil, because he told me his teacher that he learned from was Ophil, which I got all of Ophil's books too. And what he was telling me was, essentially this is fact based off of him just doing the practices over and over again. But he got it from Ophil, which Ophil got it from the source information to put into the lexicon of what we understand as a subconscious mind, right? Who else should we? Lama Luduket, he's basically an interpreter, right? Who else we got? I said Ophil. Who else? Well, so there's a whole bunch of different authors that bring forth the level of godhood to you. Oh, this book, Polaria, the Gift of the White Stone. I got the real version, but this is the first version I have. Polaria, Gift of the White Stone. He's basically breaking down Lovecraft Country, which is just stories, channel stories, and he's going for his. You feel me? And very, very powerful book, Polaria, Gift of the White Stone. I had got this copy about 12 years ago, W.H. Mueller. And I actually got a physical copy of it that nobody can get. All right. So now that we understand that source information versus the author's interpretation, right, we can understand that like and alike are the same. And hey, it's all point of view, baby. It's wherever you feel in your heart is right. So now when you see these boys kind of debating, and shout out to the guys, I'm not trying to make them feel some type of way. I'm just giving them a deeper understanding. When you see these gods in this particular space debating over this thing, it's like they're just speaking for no reason. Now, the reason they are speaking is to entertain y'all, so y'all can be like, yeah, okay, I smoke a bag of that. And you sit on the, yeah, okay, I smoke a bag of that too. But for them to put like his hostile energy into it, you feel me, emotions, kind of getting wired up and shit. That shit. Niggas still in their ego. They gotta. So, I never thought I would see it come to the metaphysical, spiritual beings like that in the debate style thing. You feel me? I thought it would just always be something that's outside of the spoken, that Sarnetta Afrocentric shit, that Tariq Nasheed, Umar Johnson shit. But now that it's here, hey, let's see how far the rabbit hole can go. You feel me? Chaos in the blood, baby. So, it's not going to work, though, because, again, if you're a real, true spiritual being, the ego is dissolved and you don't really have no fight, no horse in the race. You're just hearing to understand somebody's perspective. That's what the whole idea of being a spiritual being is. You're nothing. You're nobody. So as a spiritual being, you can see or put yourself in somebody else's shoes and say, oh, okay, even if you don't agree with it, you can say, oh, okay, I get it. This is this type of nigga. Okay, this is this type of chick, right? No judgment, right? But more so about, okay, that's all love. And that's power. And however you see it, oh, so shall it be. You feel me? Let's keep it rolling. So now, boom, it brings us to the bigger understanding of this thing, which is knowledge, wisdom, understanding, right? Knowledge. You do have to read some books to move into a space of trying something, right? The wisdom is you putting it into action. And then the understanding is what I was telling y'all with the Aquarius age, you having an aha moment or a revelation for yourself, that actually moves the needle. Third eye blind, baby. Okay, you see the triangle. Don't worry, I'm gonna go a little bit deeper for y'all. Watch this. You see the triangle, baby. The Illuminati. I'm the illuminated one. You better recognize God in this bitch. Hey, I ain't gonna even lie, nigga. If you ain't laughing through this hole, you doing something wrong. Cause spiritual beings should be laughing, having a good time, not in no hostile anger. Nah, that shit ain't right, nigga. You got me fucked up. You still human if you doing that, baby. I'm just here to tell you. This shit should be laughed, should be studied, should be a step back approach and fun and smiles. You taking this thing too serious. The illusion too serious. That's the crazy thing too. Niggas know this illusion and still take this serious. Like, nigga, come on. What's up, baby? That nigga 607 up was going. He's that's not how. Nah, you tripping in this hole. You got me fucked up in this bitch. I'm like, oh shit. You know, I was just sitting back like, oh shit, is it about to go down? Hey, chaos in the blood, baby. I'm just telling y'all what it is. So now, boom, you can see, y'all see the monument? This is in Africa somewhere. Father, mother, child, knowledge, wisdom, understanding, right? Aset, Osar, Heru. It's in the damn pyramids. We know what time it is. The original Trinity, the Trinity, the third eye. So when y'all see me do this, just know I'm the illuminated one, baby. I'm the Illuminati. I'm here to scare y'all quick, baby. What? Third eye blind. Yeah, that's me. So now, Aset, Osar, Heru is not real people. Okay, we got to understand that to the core. They are energy streams for you to tap into. So Asar being the one, right? Neo, the one, the point, the one, the penis, is the idea of you actually coming down with a particular level of knowledge, right? Aset being the wisdom, you putting in the work, the baby being gestated, being created in the womb, right? To bring forth the birth, the 9 months, right? The 9, the divine 9. You straighten out a 9, it becomes the 1. Births a baby. That's Heru. That is the understanding. Oh, we got this son now, and he's our understanding. You can even look at your kids and say, oh, okay, I understand what I'm supposed to do down here now. Based on their childlike spirit and what they're bringing to the fold. And then you might have to, you see your child being more compassionate, more loving. You might have to put some of that in your spirit. More compassion, more loving. You see your child being aggressive, assertive. You might have to put more of that in your spirit. More aggressive, more assertiveness, right? Because you actually came down here to learn from them. They actually birthed you, and they birthed you in the form of you learning from them so you can carry out your Heru's mission and fulfill it. So you won't have to come back. It's a lot of y'all niggas might be coming back, baby. You see the halo. Shout out to West Side Gun, baby. We gods in this shit. Nagas. The Naga gods, huh? All right. So boom. Now, when we even get to the tree of life, we understand that the highest level is the crown, right? The kingship, Kether Bina Chokma, knowledge, wisdom, understanding. You feel me? The top of the triangle, the 3, the Trinity, the original Trinity. So now, even understanding that, you got to understand that your crown is already here. I just did a whole thing on the crown in the Patreon in the 3-day creative visualization workshop. Your crown is on your head right now. You're wearing your crown. You just forgot and you took it off. You're wearing your tiara. You forgot and took it off and started acting like a human. When you have on your crown, you have on your tiara, it's a knowing. The knowing is the knowledge. So there's no debate in your knowing because you have it on your head. And you know how to move. You have all the answers inside of you. It's just about you tapping into them answers. And how do you tap into it? The crown, or what we call the pineal gland, because the pineal and the crown is actually one. So they say 6 pineal, 7 crown, but it's actually just one thing. But they created another stream just so you can see the level of consciousness, that it's a higher level of thinking. Your crown being infused with light, information, light for you, for your journey. So a king knows, the queen knows. They know what time it is. You know. Why? Because you're a king, you're a queen, you're a god, you're a goddess. So now in your knowing, you just got to tap into your knowing. How do you tap into your knowing? Dream. Pineal gland activation. And what is pineal gland activation? Let's get back to it. What is pineal gland activation, family? Pineal, hypothalamus, pituitary gland. Your third eye once again, right? This is the 3 wise men. Pineal, hypothalamus, pituitary gland. So your pineal is an antenna. It's actually showing you images, or you're creating the images that's fueling a thought. These images are happening all the time. So you know your route to work, so you can see how you're getting to work in your mind's eye. You can see what you're about to do when you get out of bed. You can see what show you're about to watch when you sit on the couch. So now, all of a sudden, that pineal is a projecting making machine in your mind's eye that's projecting images. Cool. That means you can see the fears, you can see the courageous acts, you can see the opportunities that you believe you can do right now. You know, y'all know niggas, y'all say, you'll see a girl, you say, I know I can get her. Because you see it in your mind's eye first. You see one of them bad chicks, you be like, I don't know, yeah. It's like, hey, you see it in your mind's eye of her shooting you down. Crazy style, too. You looking in your mind's eye, you like, hey, she trying to shoot me down. That's why I did a whole thing on that for the fellas. I said, look, y'all niggas better see first, project out. We did it in the Shivatism yesterday. Yeah, we just did Shivatism yesterday. You got to see yourself accomplishing the goal first before you act. So that's your pineal gland. You're seeing it first, then you're putting in action, which is the wisdom I said, right? Then once you make the action happen, you have a what? Understanding. She shot me down. Knew she was gonna shoot me down. You see, you knew it already. I don't know why your goofy ass went over there and tried to say something. She hit you with the, I'm married. She don't got no ring on her finger or nothing. She hit you with the, I'm married. Yeah, oh, okay. Well, congratulations. And then look, your goofy ass still try to, well, can I be your friend? Ha! What? Now you really getting shot down. She looking at you like, yeah, let me give you my Instagram. Oh, I forgot. I just disabled my Instagram. She don't even want you to follow her. She like, hell nah, I don't even want this nigga looking at me from the astral. You like, this nigga don't got no game. God bless. So that pineal, that vision you see in your mind is real, and you got to understand how important that is. And I just want to encourage the family. if you are making actions, right, which I was talking about with the sphere of availability, you got to understand that you want to see yourself winning. If you don't have that energy of seeing yourself winning at that moment, then you need to do some meditations and get some work in to see yourself winning. Because what happens is your pineal projects the image, right? Then it transfers to your hypothalamus gland that makes it make sense. The energy makes it make sense. Then your pituitary gland secretes these hormones to your other glands, which you call your chakras, that actually makes you move. The non-movement or the movement. And what we know chakras as? Chakras are your emotions, your energy in motion. So now the lack of movement or movement is based off of the three wise men, or your third eye. Knowledge, wisdom, understanding. So the knowledge you already project out into your mind is you seeing if you about to get the chick. Because for some reason you feel confident she might not be that intimidating, whatever. So you see it in your mind's eye. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get her. I know it. Yep, I got her. You feel me? The wisdom is you going and go do that action that you see you happening. Hey, what's happening, baby? You all right today? And she just smiling, laughing, and blushing. You barely said 2 words. You're like, yeah, but I don't got no game, but I knew I was going to get this one. I just had to speak. Then the understanding is, oh, you got the phone number, boom, you good. So now that secretion of hormones from the third eye, from the 3 wise men, from your pineal, pituitary, hypothalamus gland is a very, very important process that's happening in your body. See, this is what I'm giving you is source information. This is a fact. I'm just telling you how this thing works and why you have movement or non-movement. Why you haven't started that opportunity, that business opportunity that you kept on thinking about. Why you haven't made plays to work out, right? It's all in the vision first, your pineal gland, right? The spark of light, Neo, hey, Root, you feel me? Your third eye, your 3 wise men, your pineal gland has to be active because that's your crown. That's your kingship, right? That's Kether, your kingship, your crown. The understanding, the wisdom, the knowing, right? Knowledge is knowing. Know your ledge that you're about to fall off of. So now all of a sudden, when you know, you know. And that knowing is a powerful energy for you to have because that's how you run your world. So I want the family to understand to the core, right? Books versus source energy, they're all the same thing. It's all one thing. It's all one spectrum of thought. And the only thing you want to be concerned about is finding your knowing. And finding your knowing through your pineal, pituitary, hypothalamus gland activation. Yes, sir, family. Yes, sir. I got something special for y'all today, baby. I got something special for y'all, and especially talking about pineal, pituitary, hypothalamus gland. For 8 hours only, I'm giving y'all the work. 5 techniques to stimulate your pineal gland. A video. Boom. 11 items you can ingest to stimulate your pineal gland. 2 different tools for you to activate God, your pineal gland. And all you got to do is go to my Shopify, go to that thing, the YouTube thing, and buy a First Eye supplement. And it'll be instantly downloaded to you. And I just did this just now, baby. I said, let me give them this work so they can know how important their pineal gland is. So you get the video and you get 11 items you can ingest, you can take to stimulate your pineal gland. Your pineal gland is the gateway. It's your freedom. It's you thinking faster. It's you decoding the world. It's you seeing yourself as a winner instead of seeing yourself as a loser. It's you being in the space of understanding what's going on instead of like being foggy head and that fog brain. Y'all know how y'all get that foggy head thing, right? It's you being with it. It's you being in the know. It's you being quick, clever. So hey, if y'all ain't took the Harataki, go for yours now. And let's see if I could pull up my and the reason why I did this was because I want the family to understand how important the pineal gland is and how it can actually transform your world. I don't know if I could pull up my products on here, huh? I was gonna pull up my TikTok products in review, but y'all seen my TikTok before. Y'all go to my TikTok and check it out for yourself. But all the reviews are off the chain. I seen somebody stealing my goddamn product. This shit was crazy. I said, what the hell is going on? They took the name and everything. And they've been going crazy on Facebook. I'm like, see, you can't give a nigga nothing, boy. God damn. So on TikTok, I got over 5,000 orders. On my Shopify, I got over like 8,000 orders just for this supplement alone. And I'm pretty sure y'all took it. It's detoxifying your pineal and it's actually putting it to work so you can think faster. So y'all go get that. Any questions, family? Any questions? What y'all got? Yeah, exactly. Why so serious? You better laugh through this bitch and run it up. Because that's how winners win. They win because they understand. You got to be the joker, the fool card, right? The 0 point, chaos, able to adapt, able to maneuver, not being reactive and being so strong gun-ho on a point. Because again, what if that point that somebody else is making to you is actually going to move you spiritually? But you so gun-ho on the information that you got that you not even trying to hear none of that shit. You like, nah, fuck that shit. You like, nah, fuck that. I ain't, look, you ain't budging off of that Christianity, boy. You staying on that Christianity for life. God damn. And that's because you afraid to see something else, another perspective. Jesus will understand, nigga. Go for yours. That shit be crazy. When you see them Christians like that, you be like, what in the world? Hell no. And a lot of us are born with knowing. Absolutely, we're born with knowing, and what happens is we just lose the knowing. In us losing the knowing, we kind of lose ourself. And in us losing ourself, our childlike spirit self, that innocence, that adventure, that playfulness, what happens is we tend to go into a space of reactionary, because the ego starts to get heavier than the real self. You feel me? And in that getting heavier than the real self, shit, we just tend to fall into limbo and just forget all about ourselves. You feel me? So that's an important process to get into when you are in this work. An important process is for you to know thyself, which is gnosis of self, which is self-love, self-knowledge, knowledge of self. All right, no more questions, no thoughts. Okay, so again, y'all go get y'all first eye, because again, I'm giving y'all a video, just 8 hours only, and a list of things y'all can take to stimulate your first eye, your pineal gland, with the Harataki as well. It's an instant download, so it's going to come to you instantly. Hold on, y'all know what it is, family. Peace to the gods.